Hi everyone, this is Dan Hamilton with the Hamilton Real Estate Group at Coldwell Banker in Palm Desert, California. It's Monday, October 18th, and this is the Monday Minute, your weekly update on the local Palm Springs real estate market. Well, after watching the trends the last few weeks, it's clear we're in a fairly constant mode with our market, characterized by fairly a consistent level of new listings each week, neither up or down, slight upticks in inventory each week, and a decline in buyer activity. So let's look at the numbers and talk about what that means. Our new listings this week were down 3% to 354, but if you've been watching every week, you've seen that this new listing activity has been fairly constant in that mid 350 range. So we're not seeing a return of new listings like we would expect during this time of year, but the new listing activity is fairly constant. The interesting factor, though, even though new listings are not increasing, the inventory every week is going up just slightly. And this week's the second week we've been over 900 in several weeks, up 3.2% this week to 928 homes available for sale in the Palm Springs area. So that low inventory would seem to bode well for sellers. But there's another factor that's driving that slight increase in inventory that may tell a different tale. Let's have a look at that. And that other factor is the buyer activity. New escrows were down 20.8% this week to 171. That's the lowest point since August 9th. In fact, on August 9th, we were at exactly 171 new escrows. So it does appear that, as we've seen for the last few weeks, a lot of buyers are just kind of sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the market to stabilize a bit. And there are some signs that that's happening. Our closed transactions were down 7.1% to 209. Again, those closed transactions have been in that low to mid 200 range, and they tend to just trail the new escrow activity by about 4 to 6 weeks. So nothing unusual there. When we're looking at price reductions, they were up 7.1% to 120. We've been in that 1 to 120 range pretty consistently. So what I'll be looking for is, do we get to where we're at that 120 or above range for a sustained period of time, which would be an indication that sellers are starting to have to adjust pricing to reflect the reduced buyer activity that we're starting to see in the market. And of course, finally, the average selling price down 15% to $543,303. We've been between the high 5 to low 6 number for quite some time, but we are really seeing that rapid price increase we saw earlier in the year. That's starting to weaken, and that's a good sign for buyers. What's the bottom line? It's still a good time for sellers, but you've got to be realistic about your pricing. Call me, 760-625-7229. Let me help you make sure you get your home positioned properly for this market, because good homes are still selling quickly. If you're a buyer, get on our website and start your home search at www.thehamiltonregroup.com. There's, with a little bit of increasing inventory, you might find a few more options for you. And then finally, to look at the charts for this update, you'll find them every week at www.themondayminute.com. Thanks for joining me. Come back every week for the Monday Minute.